Hi guys. I'm gonna try to move away from the technical stuff and move أكتر to the applications of it and what we do and how we can use this technology of NLPs and LUs. Let's start by consumer behavior. Do you like to call a company and go through their menu? للغة العربية اضغط واحد، للغة الإنجليزية اضغط اثنين, and then you'd spend like 5 minutes before you'd actually press the button to transfer to an agent. That's what I do. So apparently, a large number of us consumers, we don't wanna reach a business with a call or email. At the same time, I guess this is skewed a bit. There's other numbers on the other end. So it says 70% of consumers demand instant answer. And 64%, believe me, take my word for it because the number is not showing. So 64% of consumers would rather communicate with a business through a text message. So what does that leave us? So this leaves businesses with a problem. They need to adapt to the changing consumer behavior, to the changing perceptions of consumers and how they want to approach businesses. So to do that, businesses have started to adopt what they call as chatbots. So chatbot comes from two words, it's chat and robot, and it simulates a human conversation. So chatbots are there to augment. These are software services. Imagine them as plugins that they can go on a business's website, on their social media accounts like Facebook Messenger, like Twitter, like Skype, like Slack, like Kik, like WhatsApp. And it allows businesses to be reachable by their audiences 24/7, 365 days a year. So imagine you, if you want to have a chatbot, as if you hired someone to be present 24/7 to answer every one of your clients' needs. So chatbots are designed on, so Chatbots Technology lies on NLPs, natural language processing, and NLUs, natural language understanding. Chatbots are designed to conduct conversations with humans. They learn the preferences of every human being and they adapt to it. And nobody needs to learn how to use them. Who chats on a daily basis? Right? So we don't need to learn how to chat because we already know. And that's the cool thing about them. This is another piece of technology that has no barrier for entry or low touch points with its end users. So do you think chatbots are new or they have been around for a while? Yeah? Very good. So actually chatbots are really older, much older than what we think they are. And what is this? Okay, so 1950, Turing, starting with the Turing Test, which is if you have a computer and you're talking to it. So Alan Turing, the famous scientist, the computer scientist, proposed a test called the Turing Test. And that says is if you have a computer in one end of the room and you're talking to it and you have another person in another end of the room, another room you're talking to it, would you tell a difference from this perspective? And from that came a long way of trials and errors and going into chatbots. So you can see in 1964 we have the first one with Eliza. In 1988 we have the Jabberwocky. In 1995 we have Alice. 2001 Smarter Child. 2006 we started with IBM Watson. 2006 that actually won Jeopardy. And in 2010 we had the launch of what we all know as our assistants, from Cortana to Alexa to Siri to the Google Assistant and to a lot. Yeah. So the technology, right? So we're talking about NLUs and NLPs, which allow us to understand what the user wants. So it's intent. So whenever a user talks to a chatbot, we need to understand what the user is saying, what the user is intending to say, and if the user is providing any entity or variables. For example, let me take that question. As if I want to know the weather in Beirut. So wanting to know the weather is the intent here, and an entity would be the location, and it would be, or the variable in this case, which would be Beirut. This, of course, has underlying machine learning algorithms, and we can utilize on top of that even extra other algorithms to make sure that we learn from the preferences of the user and provide that user a specific response. And we analyze conversations, we analyze user profiles, and we provide analytics on the usage of the chatbot. So there are multiple industries. Can anyone guess who would use a chatbot? Support. Any other? Sales. What else? Telecom. Who else? Service center. Exactly. Sir. كلهم. Okay, who else? Come on, let's think out loud. Who would use a chatbot? Why would you need a chatbot? Students, 4. To learn. All right. Instructor, if it doesn't want a repetitive answer, maybe you could use that. All right, how about marketing? Dating websites. How about marketing? How about if we want to reach users? How about if we want to do some bookings? Whether it's a, yes? Advertisement, recruitment. So basically, as you're seeing, chatbots are infiltrating a lot of our industries, a lot of our daily lives. And this is where we're heading. We like to speak to them because they provide us the answer quickly and directly with no wait time. So why do we use them? We use them, one, for reachability, because it gives us the presence and the ability to be present for our end users 24/7, 365 days a year. And also, one thing that I didn't mention about chatbots is the chatbot ما ممكن يعصب وما بيعلق بعجقة, and it will remain professional in answering the users, right? So virtual agents, conversational commerce, like you said, sales, if you have a website and you want to provide an assistant on your website, it gives you a competitive edge over others. Marketing, increasing brand loyalty, and finally, it gives you the ability to understand your clients. Who are they? Where are they coming from? What are their emotions towards you? So let's say if a client tells you, please book an appointment, or book an appointment, right? We understand that as humans is in terms of a different tonality in voice, but we can have the chatbot also understand that sentiment that comes from it. And this is valuable data that comes to a business from this perspective. So how can you build a chatbot? So to build a chatbot, currently you have 3 different options. One is you can build it in-house, which requires some knowledge on NLU engines, it requires some knowledge on integrations and some business logic, and it requires for you to build a conversational design. That means how is the flow going, how is the conversation flowing, what are endpoints, do we guide the user, do we let the user on their own, all of these considerations. Or you can use an existing bot maker platform. These have taken care of a lot of the technicalities and it just allows you to create a chatbot. Or you can outsource to several agencies out there so you can have a chatbot to it. The way we are doing is we're building a bot maker platform which will be released in the next couple of months. This will allow you to log into our website and actually create your own bot without the need to know anything related to technology or conversation design or any element related to that. Anyone can guess where we're heading? Let's think, you guys and me, out loud. Where do you think this is heading? What's the future of chatbots? Automating tasks. What else? Yes. How about, have you ever watched Iron Man? Jarvis, right? You have what? Voice interaction, right? So it goes beyond just the tool of the chatbot while presenting this technology, and to goes further on to letting us understand and interact with devices across many fields, across several objects. And this is pretty cool. Though I think we're still far from understanding full semantics out there. I think we can understand a lot of syntax, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're still a bit far in terms of understanding full semantics of words and their meanings. And from here, I think I just want to say something. It's interesting. I always remember that it's the Chinese room experiment when reference to semantics. Does anyone have anyone heard of the Chinese room experiment? Okay, so I'm going to share with you some details. So let's say we're coming into this room, and as we are entering, someone hands us in 2 sets of papers. On one set of paper, there is Chinese characters, and on the other set of papers, there's the matching output. And we enter this room, and somebody starts handing us from under the door a set of Chinese input. So we start looking at the output, and we start going and presenting the output from under the door, right? So after a while, we get better at this. So we start off with a rate that is failure. We fail quite often, but as we go along the line, we get better at it, right? So our speed in terms of matching the input with the output comes better, and etc. Up until a point, then we reach 100% accuracy. We're able to match every single input to every single output. But does that make us understand Chinese? So I think we're a bit far from understanding Chinese at the moment, but I think one of the things for the future is we're heading there.